I'm gonna watch and rank every movie featuring Joker in some way. I will also rank the Jokers themselves. Even movies like Matt Reeves' The Batman will be counted for the 30-second deleted scene Joker's in. There are over 20 movies, including the unforgettable best Joker, Lego Joker.
I hate you, Joker.
I hate you too.
I hate you more.
I hate you the most.
Anyway, let's get started with the spoiler-free review of Joker 2024, the continuation of Todd Phillips' Joker movie. Joker's in court for the crimes he did in the previous movie and meets Harley Quinn. We did not need a sequel, but I guess the first movie made a bit too much money. This movie is a musical and it just didn't fit the movie too well. I guess they had to justify using Lady Gaga. I enjoyed the music itself though, as I'm a big Gaga fan, and their performances are also good, with Phoenix doing another Oscar-worthy performance, and just seeing more of the Joker doing Joker things is always fun. The rest of the movie isn't good though. It feels like the story is just so much filler with repetitive scenes. They tried something different here, which I appreciate, the musical and romance, but I don't think it worked out for them. C tier. And I'll put this Joker in A tier, as it doesn't feel like the Joker, but I love the design and performance. Joker 2019. The origin for the Joker serves as the main focus of this film. I like the design of the Joker here. He's a clown after all, which this movie remembers. You see the transformation into the Joker, which was done very well, and it's obviously a very different take on the Joker. I obviously loved Joaquin Phoenix acting, but this movie is more about an insane man rather than the Joker. Some parts of the movie felt long and kinda boring, and this movie really isn't as deep as people make it out to be. Yes, society is unfair and people get treated badly sometimes. I still enjoyed it though. B tier. Batman the movie 1966. This is the first Joker movie ever. The villains, including the Joker, are all very normal and uninteresting. Cesar Romero as the Joker looks about 80 and clearly hasn't bothered to shave off his mustache, but it works kinda. It's an absurdist comedy and has a lot of funny scenes like the shark fight and the Batman bomb scene, which is pretty iconic. An ongoing joke is that the movie is full of weird dialogue that takes massive leaps, like this.
Pretty fishy what happened to me on that ladder.
You mean where there's a fish, there could be a penguin?
But wait! It happened at sea. See? C for Catwoman.
The plot isn't anything special and the movie isn't super funny to me. C tier, and I'll put this Joker in B tier. The Lego Batman movie. The best Joker is featured here. Lego Joker. He's sad that Batman won't admit the rivalry is special. This movie is a love letter to the Dark Knight and most comic accurate Batman ever put to screen. This is a sad, alone and empty Bruce Wayne. A Bruce Wayne that misses his parents and accidentally adopts a son that is Robin. We get a wholesome relationship between Robin and Batman. This movie is like an inside joke to Batman fans, but even if you aren't the biggest fan, it also works without knowing the history of Batman. I love this movie, it was super funny to me, S tier, and I will put Lego Joker in A tier. The Dark Knight 2008. The Joker appears in Christopher Nolan's second Batman film, The Dark Knight, played by Heath Ledger as the main villain of the movie. The design here is great and Ledger's performance made the Joker into an iconic movie villain.
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
This is more of a realistic look, but still manages to include the key features in a clever way. Scars to form the smile, messy green hair, white war paint and more. To me, it's one of the best performances I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of movies. Not to brag. Every scene with the Joker was just so engaging. It's a dark and realistic superhero movie. S tier, and obviously S tier for this Joker as well. Suicide Squad. The Joker is in this for a solid 11 minutes as a gangster and Harley Quinn's lover. It's a stylized world, but I think none of the costumes in this movie work. Joker looks like a rap star with awful tattoos, Harley looks like an alt girl, the Croc is too small and not scary enough. El Diablo is pretty good though and has some depth to him unlike the others. A very generic movie with a generic soundtrack.
Everybody only wants to discuss me, so this must mean I'm disgusting, but it's just me.
The worst live action Joker, gonna have to give this movie F tier and the Joker F tier as well. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Joker also appears in the Nightmare timeline. They changed the Joker a bit here, longer hair. I think it's a better look, but still pretty cringe dialogue. I didn't like this movie very much. This movie is way too long and feels so extremely slow. 4 hours of slow motion shots. I feel like he was pressured by the fans and needed to deliver so much footage. I love long movies, I even prefer them, but this one had too much filler. Fan service movie, D tier, and this Joker is an improvement from the Suicide Squad, so I'll put it in D tier as well. The Batman 2022. The Joker appears briefly in The Batman as an unnamed inmate in Arkham Asylum, played by Barry Keoghan, but he was confirmed to be the Joker by the director. We can't see much. I didn't like the voice here, but the deleted scene from this movie was better. This is easily the darkest Batman movie yet. It's gritty, depressing, and not a fun movie at all. It feels more like Seven or Zodiac, like a detective movie.
What's in the box?
Even the Riddler looks like the Zodiac killer. I think Phantasm was great, very underrated actor. It does have some pacing issues and it's really too long, and the final act really lets the movie down, I feel. B tier for this movie and C tier for this Joker, but it's too soon to tell. Batman Ninja. This is a Batman anime I had never heard of before. Lord Joker serves as the main villain of the film. The character designs were creative and interesting, and the voice acting was good. The artwork is pretty good in this. The bad is the dialogue and story. It's cliché and cheesy. The plot is more for fun and doesn't take itself too seriously. Focuses more on action, and that's fine. It's a fun anime and has monkeys in it, so D tier and C tier for this Joker. Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. This is a straight adaptation of the comic. I enjoy the first part more though. To me, this Joker doesn't work, both the look and the voice. He's just too big and strong. Movie is well animated and it was an interesting look at Batman and Gotham City. Batman was very scary in this one. The second part though was a bit too much action for my taste, but it had some better villains and I liked the ending. This movie gets put in C tier and the Joker is in C tier as well. Batman 1989. Joker appears as Jack Napier, a gangster who later turns into the Joker, which is the main villain of this movie. The Joker looks terrifying and is goofy with his gadgets. Such a ridiculous movie, not as much as the original 1966 Batman, but still so campy. Gotham in this is super sick, it's like in the Batman Arkham games. The theme song is epic and so is the Batmobile. Pretty good, A tier, and this is the second best live action Joker, so A tier. Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker. This is set in a future Gotham. The story features someone claiming to be the Joker in the future. It's a slick, Hannibal looking Joker voiced by Mark Hamill. It's fun and has a lot of good villains in it, and the Batman Beyond suit is one of my favorites. We need one for live action. It's quite short though and not as good as the original series, but still worth checking out. This movie gets B tier and Mark Hamill's Joker is very iconic both in the animation and in the video games, so easy S tier for Mark Hamill. Batman Under the Red Hood. The Joker is responsible for killing Jason Todd in this and we see him quite a bit. He has a darkness to the performance that's believable and the jokes are funny.
I think you may have a collapsed lung. That always impedes the oratory.
This movie feels a little short, but it was very good. Batman is dark and charismatic and the main villain Red Hood is interesting as well. The animation was good with a dark visual style, good characters and a beautiful Gotham City. Just a great movie, great Joker, A tier movie and A tier Joker. Batman Mask of Phantasm. Joker is also in this movie, not for a lot, but it's the classic animated Joker from the series with Mark Hamill. Joker shows up more than halfway into the movie, so his inclusion feels a bit forced. This movie felt focused on Batman and not so much on the other villains, which I liked a lot. I liked Phantasm though, the concept and the characters very good. I also really like Day 1 Batman, where we see the early days of Bruce Wayne and the conflict he has with his love interest. The art style is great, but the animation was a bit dated, still good but still weak compared to today's animation. B tier movie, and I think every Mark Hamill Joker is S tier, so no need to rate each individual one. Batman Assault on Arkham. This is not really a Batman movie, more about the Suicide Squad doing a heist, but Joker is still kinda the main villain in this. Joker is pretty good in this. I like the Troy Baker voice. Amanda Waller looks like a villain herself in this, like a gluttonous monster. I think the characters look bland and generic in this, everything just feels so grey. The middle of this movie feels so slow and boring, it's just them getting into gunfights over and over. It was fun seeing Riddler helping the cast and the few scenes Batman is in are all great. A pretty edgy and fun movie, A tier, and Troy Baker's Joker is also A tier. Batman the Killing Joke. The Joker appears in the film adaptation of Batman the Killing Joke, voiced again by Mark Hamill. The original comic is quite short, so they made their own fan fiction in the beginning of the movie, and it's terrible. Trust me, I wish I hadn't seen some of the scenes in this movie. The Batman and Joker scenes are great though, the voices are strong but not the best from the cast. Animation was a bit weak, not much texture to the world, and characters look decent. It's okay, but read the comic instead, D tier. Injustice. Injustice is a neat fighting game, so the movie is based on that. It's also a comic book story. Joker's only in this for a few scenes, but it's always fun seeing him. A lot of the reviews I read for this were really hating on it because of its bad adaptation, but I haven't read it, so I thought it was pretty good. I really like the art style of this, it looks beautiful to me. The characters are buff with cold shadows. Great action scenes, it was fun, but the story was lacking. These movies are so short, but they need longer to develop their characters more. C tier movie, and the Joker gets a D tier here. Batman Hush. Joker is in this for a short bit with a different voice actor, which I didn't like sadly. Anyway, this movie has the Batwoman / Catwoman and Bruce Wayne / Selina Kyle relationship as one of the most memorable things in this movie, which is good. It also features Superman, which I liked. Animation is good, smooth, and the fights and action are awesome. I feel like this movie is just something I'll forget in a year, just kinda bland, but it was decent overall, so C tier and D tier for this Joker, as I didn't like the voice acting too much. Batman The Long Halloween Part 1. Joker feels forced to be in this like many others, but he's still good with Troy Baker voicing him, but I'm not sure what he adds to the story. It's almost like they forced the Joker to be in this so they can have him in the movie poster. Anyway, this was pretty great. It focuses more on Batman's detective skills, so it feels more like a crime movie than a superhero one. The visuals and art style is great. The shots of rain or snow against the backdrop of Gotham City by the night looks amazing. The score was great, especially the opening credits. Feels a bit dull at some moments though, but still great overall, A tier. Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders. The 1960 series Joker appears in this as it's like a parody of the show and the 1966 movie. So it's like the classic Joker who was hilarious with his loud laugh and his menacing actions. They got some of the original actors from the show, so that's pretty cool, but their age sadly shows here. Batman sounds very old.
You fiends, you will rue this day?
It's an interesting story, fun characters, and has some great dialogue. It's more of a comedy and they make fun of the original series in a nice way though. It's more for the nostalgia people though. This movie gets a C tier and C tier for the Joker, a tier below the original 1966 Joker. Batman vs Two-Face. This is also in the style of the 1966 movie, like the Return of the Caped Crusader, so includes the same Joker. Is this one better than the last one? Not really. It uses Two-Face in this, so it's a bit darker than the first one. There's some silly stuff with Batman's relationship with Catwoman, Robin and Dent here. This is the last time people will see Adam West as Batman, so that's a bit sad. The story isn't as good to me as Return of the Caped Crusader. It's too cheesy and lack depth, just bland. He just becomes Two-Face in the cheesiest way, D tier. Anyway, that's my ranking of every movie Joker has featured in and also every Joker ranking. There are so many times where Joker is the villain and a lot of the times it feels a bit forced. There are so many great Batman villains who I feel deserve more of a chance. I made some other Joker videos for the upcoming Joker movie, so check those out as well. Subscribe if you enjoyed and thanks for watching.